How's it going? Hey everybody, welcome to Rashad Goes Outside. Hope you enjoy this run. I just finished it. It was a little difficult for me. I haven't been running for about a month. This past week is my first time getting back into it. It was a little shorter, as you can see, but happy I finished. So I'll give myself a pat on the back, and I hope you guys enjoy the run. And whenever you're finished, hope you pat yourself on the back as well. Happy running, and I'll see you on the other side.
All right, friends, we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to innovate. While you run, I'm going to tell you the history of our site for today, which is the Tyler Mill Preserve in Wallingford, Connecticut. If you want to read it in text form, that's also possible. The full history is available in the description below. So enjoy, and I'll see you on the other side. The following history of Tyler Mill Preserve is an excerpt from Lisa M. Toman's master's thesis in liberal studies at Wesleyan University, located in Middletown, Connecticut, just up the road from our running site. Tyler Mill is a municipally owned open space in the southeastern corner of Wallingford, Connecticut. It is located east of Interstate Route 91 and Woodhouse Avenue, north of the North Branford town line, south of the MacKenzie Reservoir, and west of Northford Road. The undeveloped portion of Tyler Mill, approximately 900 acres, contains a variety of terrain and habitats. It is an area of rugged topographic features, with elevations of valleys, hills, and ridges from 130 feet to 380 feet above sea level. Much of the area is covered with second-growth forest, and there are about 260 acres of various types of inland wetlands. The Muddy River, a tributary of the Quinnipiac River in North Haven, flows through the mill. This river has two major tributary streams in Tyler Mill. One drains the Tamarack Swamp, and the other drains the pond in Bertini Park. Today, only stone walls, a mill race, and a few cellar holes remain as evidence of the 19th century mill and farms in the neighborhood of Tyler Mill. The purchase of the property around the turn of the century by the New Haven Water Company for possible use as a future reservoir effectively suspended time there. The few houses were removed by the 1920s, some being relocated to other parts of town. The land around Tyler Mill lay dormant for years, appreciated mostly by horseback riders, fishermen, and hunters. Others were deterred from exploring this remote area by its unsavory reputation as a site of motorcycle gang parties, illegal dumping, and disposal of stolen cars. Even a murder victim's body was left there. Now, the town of Wallingford bought the Tyler Mill land from the New Haven Water Company in 1976 with a state grant for the purchase of recreational open space. Expanding our historical scope a bit, we'll look back thousands of years. Paleo-Indian tribes hunted in Connecticut at least 9,000 years ago. By the time of European settlement in New England in the early 1600s, the area was thinly populated by a small group of woodland Native Americans. The tribes in what was to become Connecticut belonged to the Algonquin-speaking group. The Native Americans that lived in the area of Tyler Mill Preserve belonged to the Quinnipiac tribe. The Quinnipiacs cultivated gardens of maize, pumpkin, squash, and beans in a village east of what is now known as New Haven Harbor. The Quinnipiacs lived in dome-shaped or rectangular wigwams housing 2 or more families apiece. These wigwams were grouped around a central space used for public business or socializing, and were surrounded by a palisade of tree trunks to protect against attacks by the aggressive Pequots and Mohawk tribes. The Quinnipiacs gathered shellfish at the shore, and they caught saltwater and fish with hooks, spears, and nets, and they also ranged inland to hunt. Perhaps the Quinnipiacs imagined that the white newcomers were a people much like themselves, few in number and interested only in settling a small farming village. The Quinnipiacs could not have foreseen that within 130 years, those of their number who had not succumbed to the smallpox and other white man's disease would be crowded out to the sparsely settled areas around present-day Farmington and Kent. There they joined the Scatucook and Tunxus tribes, having lost both their lands and their separate identity. 2 years after its settlement in 1667, Wallingford began to look like an established town as houses were constructed and streets were laid out. The first reference to a mill comes in 1727. John Tyler, the source of the Tyler Mill Preserve name, was born in 1759. He was employed as a sailor in his youth and was in Boston during the turbulent years prior to the Revolution. He was said to have been among the Indians who dumped tea into Boston Harbor in defiance of the English tax law, and he served aboard the vessel that carried the peace treaty from England to America at the end of the Revolutionary War. Going into the 1800s, we see a busy scene at the Muddy River and Tyler Mill Preserve. By this time, the mills included both a grist mill and a sawmill. But after the Civil War, business at the mills began to decline. The grist mill was used less and less as families began to buy their flour rather than grow their own grain to produce it. Building was at a standstill in this period, so there was less need for the sawmill as well. Leaping into 1876, we see the water rights of the mills being sold by the Tylers to the Fairhaven Water Works, and this company became the New Haven Water Company. The old Tyler homestead and the other houses were probably torn down by the New Haven Water Company around the 1920s. If we look at Tyler Mill around 1923, the area would appear much as it is today. The mill has been torn down, but the stone dam is still in place, and water moves in a way that would have served a very strong, profitable, and boisterous mill. And if you walk around today, you can still imagine the big buildings, the business, hustle and bustle, and the activity. Thanks for listening to this history, and enjoy the rest of your run. I'll see you on the other side.
Howdy. How it going? How's it going?
Good.
Look at Lisa.
Excuse me, guys.
Weeds in there.
Oh yeah, lots. Well done. Congratulations on an excellent run. No matter how fast you ran, no matter how far you ran and you finished, which is critical. It's about the long journey, the marathon, not the sprint, although I am not planning to run a marathon anytime soon. So if you are still here and you made it to the end of the run, a million congratulations. If you don't mind, throw a like to the video and consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me out a ton. Thank you so much and have a great rest of the day.